Welcome to an introduction to the Rockwell Collins Cabin Electronics System, version 10. After cabin power is applied to the system, you will see these screens appear on the Galley high-definition touchscreen. When this screen appears on the Galley touchscreen and other installed monitors display CES information, the CES is now ready to use. This is the default page that will appear when CES is ready to use. A green check mark in the progress column indicates there are no problems with the system. A yellow X means that the CES has identified an equipment failure, and further investigation by maintenance personnel is required to correct the problem. The touchscreen displays are set up in a similar fashion. At the top of the display is airshow information. If there is no information displayed, please have the pilot add a flight plan into the flight management system. The tabs provide groupings of CES functionality. These tabs vary depending on the display mode. At the bottom of the display are cabin speaker volume controls and shortcuts. When selected, speaker controls will cycle between different cabin speakers. Volume control shortcuts increase, decrease, or mute the selected speakers. The shortcuts take you to applicable menus when selected. These shortcuts vary depending on which tab is selected on the display. Selecting the At a Glance tab at any time will display the main At a Glance page. To get started, touch inside the blue box labeled Personalize Your At a Glance. You can select up to 3 different options to be displayed, and those selections will be highlighted. Select the Close button to return to the previous page. Touching inside the appropriate blue box will take you to the corresponding menus. To make changes to your previous At a Glance selections, select the At a Glance button on the bottom of the screen. If you already have 3 different options selected, you must first deselect an item, and then make your changes. Again, select the Close button to return to the previous page. From the Cabin tab, select the Flight Attendant button and the Presets button. Presets are used to configure the cabin for different operations or modes. For example, if the Aircraft System Ready button is selected, items on the informative preset screen will turn on together. This is accomplished through the CES software. To execute the preset action, select the Yes button. If you don't want to execute the preset action, select the No or Close button and the previous preset screen will appear. From the Cabin tab, select the Flight Attendant button and the Briefings button. Briefings are digitally recorded messages tailored to the customer's needs and flight requirements. Once the desired briefing is selected, it will momentarily appear in the Now Playing field. The passenger audio and video will be muted and suspended with a briefing message appearing on the displays. Once the briefing is complete, the passenger audio and video will resume. To terminate the briefing once it is started, select the Cancel Briefing button. From the Cabin tab, select the Flight Attendant button and the Setup button. Selecting the Cabin Locks button will lock the affected cabin area and prevent other users from altering cabin conditions, such as lighting, shades, temperature, etc. Use the 3 brightness buttons to adjust your monitor background lighting or to turn the screen off. To turn the screen back on, simply touch anywhere on the screen. Select the Logos button to display a logo on the cabin displays. To remove the logo display, simply touch on the screen to return to the previous page. From the Cabin tab, select the Flight Attendant button and the Cabin Maps button. Cabin maps are divided by call, Wireless Passenger Control Unit or WPCU, and Master Seat buttons. The Call Map button allows you to see any highlighted seat call buttons. Select the Clear All button to clear and reset the call system. The WPCU button displays seats with remote control units activated. There are 3 mode types for WPCUs: Passenger, Entertainment, and Master Seat Location, which is identified by a star on the seat. When a remote control unit, such as an iPod, is connecting to the CES, a pop-up message will appear on the galley touchscreen to acknowledge the unit. Until this message is acknowledged, the remote will not be allowed to connect to the CES system. If the unit was previously connected and accepted, it will automatically appear. To deactivate or disconnect the remote control units from the CES, use the Clear All button. All remote control units that were connected will now be disconnected. We will discuss WPCU iPod operation later in this video. Selecting the Master Seat button displays the seats that have the high-definition touchscreens in Master Seat or Passenger mode. Seats that are highlighted with a star indicate Master Seats and will display 4 main tabs for more CES functionality. Gray seats indicate Passenger Seats and only display 2 main tabs. To promote a seat from Passenger mode to Master Seat mode, simply select a gray seat. The high-definition touchscreen display will momentarily disappear and then reappear with the new mode. Not all seats displayed on the map may support the promotion functionality. To demote a seat from Master Seat mode to Passenger mode, select the highlighted seat. It will turn gray. Again, the high-definition touchscreen display will momentarily disappear and then reappear with the new mode. From the Cabin tab, select the Climate button to access the Climate page. Selecting the Forward, Aft, Entry, Floor Mat, or All buttons allows you to view the controls. The blue box on the aircraft map indicates an affected area. Use the Change Display To button to toggle between Fahrenheit and Celsius. The Set To field displays the cabin thermostat setting. To increase or decrease temperature, select the plus or minus or simply touch on the slide bar. The aircraft will react to the temperature changes within a short amount of time. To turn the floor mats on or off, simply select the individual seats. Highlighted seats will indicate that the floor mats are on. You can also select All On or All Off buttons to change all of the floor mats at the same time. Selecting the All button allows the entire cabin to be controlled from one page. The Link button will tie or link the forward and aft cabin controls together. From the Cabin tab, select the Shades button to access the Shades page. Select the cabin shades you wish to adjust. A blue box will appear around the affected areas. Select the up or down buttons to initiate shade movements. Using the All Up or All Down buttons will move all cabin shades at the same time. From the Cabin tab, select the Lighting button to access the Lighting page. Cabin lighting control is divided by Cabin, Other, Galley, and Lavatory buttons. Selecting the Cabin button allows control of the forward, aft, or all lighting. Again, the blue box indicates the affected area. Use the plus or minus buttons or slide bar to adjust the brightness. Select the Off button to turn off the lights. Select the Color button to adjust the color of the cabin lights. Select the Close button to return to the previous page. Select the Link Upper and Lower button to control the wash lights together. To turn on or off the accent lights, select the down arrow button. Selecting the Other button allows you to control reading, table, wash, ordnance, and other lighting. When selecting the Galley button, a blue box will appear around the affected area. Selecting the down arrow buttons toggles through different selection options. When selecting the lavatory button, a blue box will appear around the affected lavatory area. Selecting the down arrow buttons toggles through different selection options. From the Cabin tab, select the Networks button. From this screen, you can review your aircraft cabin network settings. From the Cabin tab, select the Appliances button to access the Appliances page. Highlighting an appliance button indicates that item is turned on and allows you to control its function. From the Cabin tab, select the Water button to access the Water System page. To turn on or off the water system, select the Power button. A pop-up message may appear when turning off the system to purge the potable water system, or PWS, in freezing climates. Select the appropriate option or close the acknowledgement. To turn on or off the water heaters, simply select or highlight the applicable heater. The Purge Water buttons are used to purge the water tanks to a desired level. A pop-up message will appear confirming your selection to prevent accidental water purges. Once a water purge begins, you will not be able to stop it until it is finished. There are two quantity displays on this page. The graphical display looks like a water tank that is divided into individual sections. The alphanumeric display below the tank also represents water quantity level. The water status and alerts fields can be very useful to aircraft maintenance personnel when there are problems or actions being taken with the water system. From the Cabin tab, select the Lavatory button to access the Waste System page. There are two quantity displays on this page. The graphical display looks like a water tank that is divided into individual sections. The alphanumeric display below the tank also represents the storage tank quantity level. The waste status and alerts fields can be very useful to aircraft maintenance personnel when there are problems or actions being taken with the system. The Master Seat Location touchscreen displays 4 tabs: Favorites, Video, Audio, and Cabin. Airshow information is displayed at the top of the display. To set up your Favorites tab, touch inside the blue box labeled Personalize Your Favorites. The next screen allows you to select up to 5 different favorite shortcuts. Press the Close button to return to the main screen where your favorite shortcuts are now displayed. From the Video tab, select the Monitors button to go to the Cabin Monitors page. Selecting the Monitor Legend button displays each monitor number in the cabin. Select the Close button to return to the previous page. Select the applicable monitors that you want to make changes to. If more than one monitor is highlighted, all of them will be changed. Select the video source item that you want displayed on the highlighted monitors. The affected monitors will display a miniature source icon and, if applicable, what item was selected within the source used. From the Audio tab, select the Speakers or Headphones button. Select the desired speaker system. If more than one is selected, those that are highlighted will be changed. Adjust the volume level by selecting the plus, minus, or mute buttons, or move the slide bar until the desired audio level is achieved. Use the Settings button to select or adjust the speaker preset functions. The Dynamic Range Compression feature reduces the volume of loud sounds or amplifies quiet sounds to keep the volume at a constant level. Select the Close button to return to the previous page. Select the desired audio source that you want to play over the speakers. The affected speakers will display a miniature icon and, if applicable, what item was selected within the source used. The source lock and unlock feature applies to the user or owner making the source selection. A padlock icon next to the video or audio source selection list indicates that someone in the cabin has selected that item. The master seat location or galley can override the lock by selecting that item. The Source Lock Owner page will appear, highlighting the seat location that has the item locked. To unlock it, select the Unlock button. The user or owner of the item will be notified by a pop-up for loss of source lock. They must acknowledge the notification in order to continue. From the Cabin tab, select the Climate button. Selecting the Forward, Aft, or All buttons allows viewing of the controls. Pay attention to the blue box for the affected areas. Toggling between Fahrenheit and Celsius is done with the Change Display To button. The Set To field will display the cabin thermostat setting. To increase or decrease the temperature, select the plus or minus buttons, or simply move the slide bar until the desired temperature is achieved. Please allow the aircraft some time to react to the new temperature. From the Cabin tab, select the Shades button. Select the desired individual cabin shades you wish to adjust. A blue box will appear around the affected areas. Select the up or down buttons to initiate shade movements. Using the All Up or All Down buttons will move all cabin shades. From the Cabin tab, select the Lighting button. Cabin lighting control is divided by Cabin and Other buttons. Selecting the Cabin button allows control of the forward, aft, or all lights. Pay attention to the blue box for the affected areas. Use the plus or minus buttons or the slider bar to adjust the brightness. Select the Off button to turn off the lights. Select the Color button to adjust the color of the cabin lights. Select the Close button to return to the previous page. Select the Link Upper and Lower button to tie and control the wash lights together. To turn on or off the accent lights, select the down arrow button. From the Cabin tab, select the Networks button. From this screen, you can review your network settings. From the Cabin tab, select the Setup button. Selecting the Cabin Locks button locks the affected cabin area and prevents other users from altering cabin conditions, such as lighting, shades, temperature, etc. Use the 3 brightness buttons to adjust your monitor background lighting or to turn the screen off. To turn the screen back on, simply touch anywhere on the screen. Select the Logos button to display a logo on the display. To remove the logo display, simply touch on the screen to return to the previous page. To connect an iPod remote control, first check your settings and select the proper aircraft Wi-Fi connection. Once verified, select and initiate the Cabin Control app on the iPod. The remote control will start to connect to the aircraft CES system. If Waiting for Authentication appears, there will be a pop-up message on the galley touchscreen that must be acknowledged to complete the connection. The Seat Setup screen will be the first display seen on the remote control unit. Select the applicable seat you wish to use. Seats identified in an orange color have already been assigned, and you must make a different selection. Seats that have a star on them are designated as Master Seat Locations, or MSLs, and will have 3 tabs for CES control functions. Passenger seats, when selected, will have only 2 tabs displayed. When selecting the Promote or Demote button on the Seat Setup map, it will also change the high-definition monitors that are associated with its assigned location. For more information on the Rockwell Collins Cabin Electronics System version 10, contact Rockwell Collins Customer Support at 1-319-295-5000.